SmackDown Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of SmackDown, Raw, and or PLEs. Here's a hot take for you. Some of you did not grow up saving the bacon grease for, well, every single meal you cook with, and it shows. All right. So, Tiz Mickey says, Drew Claymore kicking the ref was something I did not expect and loved it. It was hilarious. Oh my God. For Drew McIntyre, he should be mad at Cody, right? Nope. He just ignores Cody. He's like, I'm done feuding with Cody. I'm going to feud with that referee. It was funny. It was unexpected. The Claymore kick that dude took was like, amazing job, ref. I loved it. Unfortunately, it signals the end of, well, the recent Drew McIntyre push to become champion. Apparently, he's just not going to ever be champion. Now, David LaCour says, I heard Drew was going to be making a movie that would explain his suspension to write him off TV. You're right, that would explain it, but that doesn't explain why after SummerSlam, Cody Rhodes was allowed to win the Undisputed Championship and then go film a movie, not even really explaining it. I think the explanation was Drew McIntyre, Claymore kicked him into the announce table. If they really wanted Drew to win, they literally have set a precedent just like 3 months ago saying you can go and just film a movie and take a month and a half off. So, yeah, I don't buy it. They just don't want Drew McIntyre winning this belt right here, or any belt for that matter. But I want you to win this belt right here. Literally, you can win it. All you got to do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, ding, 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 notification. I am giving away this belt at 20,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job. It's not a toy, it's a replica, and you can win it. Free shipping, free everything, and I wish they would let Drew McIntyre win the championship, but no, they gotta play it safe. Cody Rhodes, I don't know, I guess that smile of his as he walks into the arena holding the belt like this, what does he do? He does this. He just walks, he's like, this is Cody Rhodes. He's just walking. So I really like that. And it's like, I guess that's championship material to TKO. Maybe if Drew McIntyre's song had something that people could sing along to or yeet with, maybe he would be champion. Maybe not. I mean, LA Knight has the yeah, and they don't make him champion. So for whatever reason, Triple H does not want to ever fully invest in Drew McIntyre. Think about this year. He got rolled up by Seth, Jimmy, Jay, Damian Priest. He started walking into 2024 with one of the best angles of being a bloodline hunter, and literally it was just dropped. He loses the feud to Damian Priest, and Damian Priest doesn't even then get a match on SummerSlam. Yeah, he did win. He did win at WrestleMania, but he lost at Saturday's main event, the steel cage match. But yeah, I know Drew will get back over. I know he'll make a lot of money. But call me crazy, but I get invested in characters, and I really want success for those characters. So, yeah, Triple H just, I don't know, maybe Triple H has some plan in 2033, he'll finally give Drew McIntyre a 1 month title reign, a 2 month title reign, and yeah. The real hope is that he becomes a huge megastar in Hollywood, because then he can go part-time, maybe show up 3 times a year, and that's when Triple H will go all in. That's how they do it nowadays. Cinema! And speaking of another guy who doesn't get pushed, Tiz Mickey also will say, also, poor LA Knight, yeah, I'm sure whoever he's facing in the tournament will beat him. That's so sad, because you're probably right. And honestly, I think it's going to be
Joe Hendry.
Because why else would Nick Aldis not say his name? At first I was like, ooh, they're doing a surprise. It's going to be Jeff Hardy or something. But nah, I think now it's Joe Hendry. Because if he had said his name last night, he would have had to appear. And people are going to be like, well, they had to give it to Joe. He's his debut on SmackDown. Do they? They were willing to let debuting Joe Hendry lose at WrestleMania when he held the TNA title, so I'll be happy for Joe to win. I just hate that it's at the expense of LA Knight. You are absolutely right. Poor LA Knight. I don't know what he did to make WWE this angry with him. I don't know. I think he stole Triple H's protein drink. He did the cardinal sin of getting over without Triple H stamp of approval. The guy's been over for 3 years. Like, when he went up against Roman Reigns, somehow was able to not look like a total chump, and he held his own. His aura did not diminish against that of Roman. And that's like, that was peak Roman. So, like, what's going on with LA Knight? What are we doing here? People think that it's because there was a sign, somebody was holding up a sign at a Raw that said, we want LA Knight over Jey Uso, when Jey won the Battle Royal to face CM Punk at Saturday Night Main Event, and LA Knight held that up, and now people are thinking that he's being punished. And when I say people, I'm people. And then we have Equizination 21. Lash Legend is officially a part of the main roster now, according to Google. And I'm all for that. I am all for that. I love Lash Legend. I really wish her partner, Shakira Jackson, was still here. But Lash Legend is, she's... I don't even know if I want to say a future star. I think she's a present star. She is so freaking good. She's one of those naturals. Very natural. I think she's going to be what they wanted Jade Cargill to be the moment Jade walked into the building. Lash Legend is so freaking good. I love her nickname. We got G4, Da Bougie Bully. The Bougie Bully, that is hilarious of a nickname. Lash Legend and the Irresistible Force open season, Nia Jax, will definitely be dominating Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, and Tuesday Night NXT. And AAA Lucha. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that with her teaming up with Nia Jax. They were feuding in NXT, and they did address it. I think they could have addressed it a little more. Nia said something, oh, but we were feuding, but that's why I went and got her. It was one line, so I'm happy. I am definitely happy. I've said many times, all you gotta do is say one line to make it make sense. So I might, maybe two lines. That way, it not only just makes sense, but you can, like, I don't know, that way everybody gets it. Because that was a quick throwaway line, but they did explain it, so I give them props there. It just could have been expounded upon more. That, like maybe the Bougie Bully could have said, yeah, when I faced Nia and she actually beat me, I knew I still had something to learn. So I called her up and was like, you want backup? I got you, because I want to learn from the best, because only the best can beat me. Something like that, and we could have just kept going. So I give them a B for mentioning it, but I think an A would have been not just Nia talking about it, but Lash. Regardless, though, it was a good segment, and I'm happy they are together. Ron Talks Tabletop kind of echoes that. He says, while I like Lash Legend and Nia teaming up as two bullies in the women's division, WWE really needs to do a better job of explaining how the enemies are suddenly come together. So, yeah, there you go. And so basically what I just said there. And I'm a little worried for the Kabuki Warriors. The Kabuki Warriors are doing such great work, but I don't see anybody taking out Lash and Nia. Like, that is like a power duo. I thought Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair was like OP, and nobody could ever seem to eclipse those two in the just like OP category. But Lash Legend Nia Jax is like next level. Like, what's gonna happen? I wanted the Kabuki Warriors to win that tag gold, but whoo, like, how can Lash and Nia not? How can they not get the tag gold? So I don't know. We'll see there. But like, Lash Legend she's super, super good. LT says, pledge your allegiance to Chelsea Green. I pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green and her United States Championship win. Oh yes, she is our fourth ever champion, and I am all about that. I hate that Julia, it's at the expense of Julia, but her title reign never launched. Failure at launch with Julia, and that sucks because Julia is super freaking talented. But I will say that the ball had been dropped and it was time for a reset. Sometimes you do gotta do a hard reset. Happy for Chelsea, not for Julia. Hopefully Julia can rebound quickly because she has a lot of upside. Bishop Marley says the face-off last night with Charlotte made Jade look weak. Jade needs to come across as intimidating, and having the great Charlotte Flair just blow her off makes her seem like a jabroni. Yeah, I think like Jade Cargill's performance last night was like perfect with the exception of the stare down. They should have just not had the stare down. If they want to get them in the feud, there were other ways to do it. Jade, like the way she came in the ring, it was short and sweet. And then she was gone. She looked like she was not liking the fans. She intimidated Chelsea Green. A verbal confrontation with B-Fab and Meacham. But when she came to Charlotte, it was just like Charlotte kind of just brushed her off. Now that's within Charlotte's character, so I'm not saying it was bad that for Charlotte that she did that. However, for Jade to come across dominant and strong, either Jade should have attacked the moment Charlotte, like, her back was turned, or, honestly, they shouldn't have done it. And, like, I don't know why they didn't. Easily, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte could have been, like, their back could have been turned. Jade Cargill could have attacked her real quick, just like, you know, an elbow, a forearm right to the back of Charlotte's neck. She falls down. Alexa Bliss is shocked. Boom, clothesline. Knocks Alexa Bliss down, grabs Charlotte, throws her into the railing, and then she leaves. That would then give Jade, make her look strong, and we wouldn't have had to change anything really in SmackDown, and it would have made Jade look stronger. That said, I think Jade did have a good night. I think this was more of a plus than a negative, but I do agree with you, Bishop. Mr. Dark Gable says, who is the new WWE Job Squad, male and female? The Job Squad was a 1999-98 group faction led by Al Snow. And the job, you do the job, that means you get pinned. You are the loser. A jobber is someone who just comes for a paycheck and is paid to lose. And then he does the job. 1, 2, 3, makes the other person look good. Chelsea Green could be argued part of the job, like the female Job Squad, but honestly, she wins a lot too. And I would say maybe Alba Fire. Alba Fire could be part of the Job Squad. Ivy Nile could be part of the Job Squad. Then I would Tozawa, Otis, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre are like the main event Job Squad, which sucks. Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, before he left, they would be considered members. Apollo Crews actually could probably lead the Job Squad when he comes back. Mr. Dark Gable says 9.5 chops with mashed potatoes, gravy, and iced tea. Sweet. Yeah, I liked it too. I gave it a solid 8, only 4 yawns. I enjoyed myself last night. Was it a perfect SmackDown? No. Nope. And there were certain things that I just really did not like, but I really did enjoy it. But the surprising thing is a lot of people online, and not just the normal people who crash out, a lot of people did not like last night's SmackDown. So that's interesting to me. Usually there's certain people that I always agree with, or we align in the process, like usually Assemble Wrestling and Simon Miller. Usually we think alike, but I don't know what Assemble Wrestling thought, but Simon Miller did not like yesterday's show, but that's okay, you know. You can not like the show, like, and still, like, have a valid opinion. Like, just because it disagrees with mine doesn't mean it's, like, your opinion's wrong. So, I enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it too, Mr. Dark Gable. Camera died, so the footage might be a little different. We got Shoop says, I like how the main event scene is no longer just Drew, Cody, and sometimes Randy. They have now added Aleister Black and Damian Priest. Hopefully, they have more people to make the title scene better. Yep, I like that too. Wouldn't mind if somehow, some way, Carmelo Hayes and Miz got in there. So, but you know what? This is a start in the right direction. Goat Buggy says, I think WWE really should take out the War Games and go back to Raw vs. SmackDown Survivor Series because, like you said, Chop, they have no real heat. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't even mind. It doesn't have to be Raw vs. SmackDown. They could just do traditional 4-on-4 matches, the old style way where it's just elimination. It's just like War Games. There's just no heat whatsoever, and it harkens back to the days where it's a Hell in the Cell PLE. It's like, oh, I guess these two are gonna fight in a PLE, and they've been feuding for 30 days. Bishop Marley says also the Miz's top 5 on the mic, and he isn't 5. All right, everybody in the comment section below, tell me who your top 5 on the mic are. We got Go Buggy saying, I honestly think SmackDown needs to call up more NXT baby faces for Jade Cargill to fight because I don't want to see B-Fab and Meechum fight 1 million times while we wait for Bianca Belair. Yeah, I agree. Kawash says R-Truth should be the one to win the U.S. title and continue the open challenge for his big brother Cena. You know, it'd be funny if R-Truth did win the world title, the U.S. title, and then he did do an open challenge, and then he lost the first match. That would actually be kind of funny. Donatello Leonardo says, first off, I pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green. Good man, my good man. Her and Ethan are about to go on an epic run as double champs. I feel bad about Julia, but she needs a new direction, and Chelsea is good enough to be able to carry the title without even needing regular opponents. Exactly. Sometimes the champion makes the wrestler. I would say the U.S. champion making Ilya Dragunov, but sometimes the wrestler makes the championship. Chelsea Green, Dominic Mysterio making the Intercontinental belt. Gunther making the Intercontinental belt. On the main event, regardless of what you think about the finish, the division desperately needed some fresh faces, so I think that putting Damian and Aleister in there with Drew and Cody is a good thing overall. I agree with that. It is refreshing. We got Charles Yancey. Chelsea is back on top, baby. Now we can let Jade lose the title next week. I agree with 50% of your statement. Jay Lies Ballet. I wasn't thrilled about Jade becoming champion, but wanted her to prove me wrong. Her promo tonight did not prove me wrong. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just hold a little tight. I don't mind her doing a very short promo. I think less is more with Jade Cargill. This is one of the few times that I'm going to say that, though. A lot of times I think Triple H uses the less is more excuse to just give us less. Usually less is less, but I think with Jade Cargill, less will be more. So I would say hold off your opinion for about another month, but then again, sometimes you just don't like someone, and it is what it is. Hopefully you will still be able to enjoy her feuds, but I personally love Jade Cargill. I think what they did yesterday was great. But that doesn't mean that you're a horrible person or you're not a real fan. It just means maybe you just don't like Jade Cargill. I'm so loner. I'm so happy Chelsea got her title back. I am too. We got Faz P-O-U. Oh, I butchered your name. Sorry. They need to stop trying to make Damian Priest a main eventer. It's super forced. Should have been Randy who came out instead. I'm okay with them trying one more time. How about that? One more time for Damian Priest to get in this main event scene. He actually, in my opinion, had a decent world title run. It's just ever since then, he's never had anything. So we just got to continuously push him. Like I said earlier, he beat Drew McIntyre and then they just left him off the SummerSlam card. Maybe if they actually capitalized on momentum, then Damian Priest would feel like a main eventer to you. Because right now, I agree, he doesn't feel like he should be in the main event scene, but let's see, because I do kind of just want, I am more interested in having fresh blood in that main event scene than just the standard rotation that we've been dealing with for a while now. Hanky I know you told me how to say your name one time, but I forgot. I apologize. I wish they had given Julia and Chelsea Green more time. I think they should have made Ray versus Talatunga a squash match and given the extra time to the women's U.S. title match. I think the real time suck was Johnny Gargano versus Ilya Dragunov. That went 21 minutes. They could have easily taken 5 to 8 minutes from that match and gave it to Julia and Chelsea Green. TTJC says, this was a great SmackDown. Agreed. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Okay, so now we have Kieran Ridge. I liked all the different aspects of tonight, especially the Kabuki Warriors as nurses for the ambush. That was so funny. That was so funny, so unexpected. That's the kind of storytelling I like. We didn't have just two foes staring at each other while we go to commercial break and then we forget all about it. Nope, they attacked. Not only did the Kabuki Warriors attack Charlotte and Bliss while they were down and injured and spit in their face, they surprised them and then they gloated after. There was zero respect for the champions, for their foes, and that's how you book wrestling. Asuka and Kari, they were on the show for what, like 5 seconds, maybe 10, and they had one of, if not the best segment of the night. Ryan Bryant says, why did they waste the tournament spot on The Miz? He's close to the end of his retirement, as is Cena. Well, I don't think it's a waste. I think The Miz is an all-timer, and I think it would be weird if he wasn't in the tournament. This tournament should be full of just everybody. I feel they should have had The Miz versus Carmelo Hayes in the tournament. Carmelo Hayes could win. Therefore, the new guy, the younger guy, gets put over. But then The Miz can be super mad and use that as fuel for their feud, saying you took that match from me. That was my match to have, Carmelo Hayes, and you beat me. You took it from me. Now I'm going to take everything from you. FMJ says, I'm a fan of Chelsea Green, but I wish she lost the match. I was kind of hoping she'd be elevated to a higher title scene. I get that. I really do. But Jade Cargill just won, and I'm okay with that. And Stephanie Fakir is the champion over there. I'm actually okay with Stephanie losing. I would love for Julia to crash out being like, man, everything has sucked since you came on, since you joined WWE. So Julia somehow channels all her anger at Stephanie Fakir, cost her to lose the title. But I would love for that title on Raw to actually go to like Raquel Rodriguez, so when Liv Morgan comes back, those two can feud over it. So Chelsea Green, to me, she's deserving and she's ready for the main event scene, but I think the mid card could use her a little more right now, but you're totally valid, and you might even have the stronger argument. Damian King says, I don't know if what Truth said was PG. That's a callback. Southpaw Jimmy says, love Zelina, but turning her into Scarlett after not bringing her and Cross back is pretty weak. Yeah, like, no shade on Zelina or Aleister Black. You do what you're told, especially if you're going to go in the main event, but, like, it's so apparent that it's that what they're portraying is Karrion Kross and Scarlett. It sucks, but, you know, in a year or two, if they can continue on this course, people will start to forget because we have the mind of goldfish. Edward O'Banner says Chelsea is a babyface, not a heel. She's still a heel, but she's like Dominic Mysterio. We're gonna cheer her. Jimbo Slice says, usually I try to highlight what I enjoy, but for some reason, I just couldn't get into this week's SmackDown. Yeah, Jimbo, you know, it's what I said earlier. You know, it's okay. It's okay. I remember the first Raw on Netflix. A lot of people were liking that one. I remember thinking to myself, and I was like, what's wrong with me? So just because I loved yesterday's episode and you didn't, okay, so what? We'll see what next week brings us. So I'm sorry you did not enjoy it, but go watch Simon Miller. He didn't enjoy it either. And then come back here, though, of course. Shazam Hassan says, I'm sick of champions getting into non-title singles matches. Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that at all, because it's like, I don't know. Sometimes even they'll do a non-title match and then the champion will still win. It's just like, just don't do non-title matches. The worst is, though, even worse, is a non-title match and then the champion loses. And then when they do have the title match, the champion wins. Oh my God, they used to do that in WCW all the freaking time, and I hated it. Kid Wilkes says, I walked away and missed Chelsea Green winning. Poor Julia. Hope she isn't injured. I don't think she's injured. I think she's just fumbled. I think WWE fumbled her. But Chelsea Green winning, they should have gave her more time. That celebration should have been it should have been way more. In fact, I would have been okay with if balloons had just dropped from the ceiling and Chelsea Green, it's revealed that Chelsea Green paid for her own celebration or something, and maybe some really cheap fireworks could have gone off. I don't know. They could have done a lot more with it. Maybe next week, though. Hopefully next week. Carmichael says, Nick Aldis is the best GM since Teddy Long. Yeah, that's valid. I could see that. I would like, though, for either Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis to turn heel. We haven't had a heel GM in such a long time. Plus, it would be it would really help someone like Cody Rhodes, who could fight a bunch of people, and it would help elevate certain people too, like a Damian Priest. Damian Priest, who's having a hard time staying in that main event scene. Well, if he had a heel GM as his the power behind him, then that would allow Damian Priest to be a main event stay. Barshman says, every time the MFTs are on TV, all momentum stops. When they first came back with the face paint, it was yeah. But then we didn't really follow up with it, and now they're just a bunch of guys again who have face paint. WTF Patch says, love the fact that Asuka came all the way to just spit mist on them. That's the funniest thing ever. Yeah, if you think within kayfabe, Asuka and Kairi, they literally came to SmackDown, ready to spit mist. They're watching. They see Alexa Bliss get injured. They're like, ooh, let's go steal some nurse outfits. None of this could have been planned because, well, we didn't know that Alexa would need medical attention. So then as she's getting hurt, or as she's being treated, they steal outfits, run in, and spit mist just to dance and laugh and run away. That's beautiful. I love it. You're right. Within kayfabe, it's even more hilarious when you actually think about the thought process of these two individuals just coming to spit mist on them. They're like, yeah, she's injured. This will be even funnier. So loved it. Asuka, she's doing some of the best work of her career, and well, that says something because she's had a great career. All right, boys. All right, girls. Those are your hot takes for SmackDown, whatever yesterday was. Those are your hot takes for it. I'll see you for videos tomorrow throughout the week, and go subscribe to the Shorts channel, Wrestlechop Plus. See ya, bye.